Tonight on Reality Reflex, these queens are gonna chat it up on a talk show, the mixed pattern runway, and the shadiest moments of this episode on All Stars 6. Going into tonight's episode, the kickoff drama was that Jan had picked the wrong lipstick.
Fuck my drag.
Everyone disagreed with her and she was feeling in her emotions. Once again, there was no mini challenge this episode, so we're going right into the main challenge where RuPaul lets these queens know they're going to do a spoof of the red Tabletop, the Jada Pinkett Smith show, and they're gonna do the pink Tabletop chat show. And this is how the teams broke down. Eureka, Akira, and Trinity K. Bonet were all on one team. Up next we had Kylie Sonique Love, Scarlett Envy, and Raja O'Hara. And then we had Ginger Minj, Pandora Box, and Jan.
Well, that is just so interesting. I'm gonna go get another cocktail.
And so here's my top picks for the best performances of the week. Number 3 for me was Trinity K. Bonet, who was, as RuPaul said, on the best team. She did hold her own and she did sound extremely natural. And so that's why for me, she landed at this top 3 of this challenge. Number 2 for me actually was Scarlett Envy, because I actually thought it was a pretty good conversation she was having. It sounded very authentic to me and it was still her personality. I didn't think she was necessarily reaching like they claimed she was. Like, I actually thought she was doing a pretty good job of being sincere. Number 1 for me was Akira Davenport, who I feel was like the anchor of the team because she was holding it together. She was doing her thing. She was doing quite well. So I definitely think Akira Davenport for me was this week's number 1. Again, and I put her as princess last week. And now with all the greats, we have to talk about the bad performances. So for me, these are the worst queens of the week. Number 3 for me was Pandora Box. Like, I felt like this whole season she hasn't really been getting in there, like, and being in the drama and being the topic of conversation. And once again, she did that same thing because here she was, she got in a couple jokes, but like it seemed like the other two were having a conversation, and then here she comes in with a couple puns or a quip every once in a while. And so it was not the moment that we needed from Pandora. Number 2 for me was Jan, because once again she started off the bit talking about how she's Jan. To me, there just needs to be so much more than your name and your energy that does it. Like, you need to have a style. Like, you need to have your own zhuzh, you know, queen. So to me, she was still just doing the Jan thing, and we need so much more, girl. Number 1, the bottom for me this week, was actually Eureka O'Hara, who I feel she was on the strongest team, and usually she's the bitch that can talk and talk and talk and hold the conversation. But I feel in this situation, she was kind of in the background, and not only that, but like her quips and her personality, like this time around, usually it always works for her, but I feel like I just had this negative reaction. Like, it just kind of seemed like, ew, I don't know. I wasn't really feeling Eureka this week. And up next, here is my top 3 shadiest moments of the week. Number 3 for me, Akira saying that Trinity K. Bonet's makeup was like SpongeBob.
Go back to Party City where you belong.
Number 2 for me was when Bianca Del Rio said that the casting for All Star 6 was caused because there was a fire at the zoo.
Girl, take it easy.
And number 1 for me was Jan looking like she's gonna be the next host of Blue's Clues when she was in the workroom. And now it's time for my best runways of the week. You know, on this show I don't do toots or boots. I just talk, you know, about the outfits that absolutely blew me away. So you might not agree, but these were my standout looks. First for me was Eureka O'Hara. Like, the outfit was a gorgeous design as usual. She is always perfectly proportioned when she comes on this runway. Her outfits always live up to the hype, and once again she slays it because this runway was fabulous. The patterns were so crazy and just were beautiful, and I just was completely obsessed with her whole presentation from beginning to end. Up next, I had Akira Davenport. This is in no order, so I don't know why I set up next, but I do love this outfit, and I just have to say, though, I don't necessarily know if it was, like, patterns coming together. Like, I see that the idea was she took, like, patterns of skin and tied it together. I don't know, that's some American Horror Story stuff. That's next week's episode, apparently. So I don't necessarily know that, like, it was perfect with the theme, but it was fierce-ass drag. and it was fabulous. And I am living for this pin cushion, tied together, sewn together, human centipede realness. Then we had Scarlett Envy that was wearing love notes from her grandparents, which is beautiful, as is this outfit. Once again, she is the damsel in distress from the 1930s, 40s, or 20s, and she just is looking glamorous. This really is killing it for me too. Like, this season, she's really stepped it up for me. Then we have Ginger Minj in another amazing outfit for her. The patterns are crazy and the storyline is so adorable. Like, she's a bug catcher. Like, it's just cute, and like, she's been doing really good too. Like, these looks that she has brought this time, she is not here to play around. Like, these are definitely a level up from the last time she was here on All Stars 2. And now it's time for the Elimination Breakdown. So spoiler alert, like, you haven't seen all of these spoilers already in this episode, but if you want to know absolutely nothing about the end, this is the time to turn off the show. So the top queen of the week was officially announced as Ginger Minj. So she was going to be the bitch that could potentially win $30,000. The bottom queens this week were Kylie Sonique Love, Jan, and Scarlett Envy. And the lip sync assassin this week was Bianca Del Rio. Oh, they just brought her back to throw some shade at these bitches. Never mind, the real lip sync assassin is Mayhem Miller. So at the end of the day, the winner was Ginger Minj, who won all that motherfucking money. And so she had the difficult decision of who to send home. Well, not really, just don't send home Sonique and then you're good. But regardless of all that, she had the tough decision, who was it really going to be, Jan or Scarlett? And she made the decision to send home Scarlett Envy. So the bitch has gone home. She, you know, the world wanted more of her according to her, so she had her little moment, but she's gone now. But so going back to the opening intro where Jan was worried about did she pick the right lipstick or not, was that any drama, was that any tea? Well, it turns out at the end of the day, it really wasn't, because it wasn't Akira up at the top about to eliminate her. It was just Jan in the bottom being a little upset or whatever. But she still needs to step up her game. She still needs to step that pussy up. Comes up with something else other than just your name, honey, okay? But so this is my episode this week. I will give this episode 3 out of 5 RuPaul trophies. So I will see you guys next time. I love you so much.